Awesome. All right. Okay. So, welcome everybody to the communications training for today. I'm going to show you how to design a professional looking meeting flyer in less than 10 minutes. And I'm going to try to keep this pretty brief. I know most everybody's probably had a long day. And I'm going to try to stay true to my word. If I'm able to show you how to design this in less than 10 minutes, then we should be out of here pretty quickly. So this shouldn't take that long. So let's get started. All right. So just a note before we start, again, if you're checking out the webinar online, um, don't forget that you can tweet during and after this webinar using the Council 57 hashtag, which is Our Union, Our Future. We want to make this as interactive as possible. Also want to make sure everybody is getting something out of this. And we want to make sure to let everybody else know that our union is on the move. Also, there is a Q&A. There will be a Q&A section at the end, so I'm not just going to talk and peace out. I'm going to open this up to questions at the very end. And during the webinar, there is a chat feature. It's usually on the bottom right, but it may look different for everyone else. But there is a chat feature. So if you have a question about something I'm saying, if it doesn't make sense, or if you want me to sort of repeat something, feel free to type your question in the chat. And then also, there will be a recording after this. So, if there's something that I went over that you want to go back and replay, the recording will be up on the Council 57 website, and I'll send out an email about that once we're done. All right. So, just want to reiterate this. I know that the webinar might say Andy, but I just wanted to remind folks who I am. So I'm Martin Ricard. I'm the communications specialist for Council 57, and I do a lot of the PR and marketing, and I run the website and social media channels, and I help out a lot of the locals with your communications efforts. So I just wanted to let folks know who I am. If I haven't met you yet, hopefully I will meet you soon. And I usually make my rounds throughout Northern California. All right. So just to let you know what you'll be learning today, a few quick things as I described in the message about this webinar. So you're going to learn how to design high quality flyers that are going to be able to capture members' attention and help them get more engaged in the union. And I want to emphasize more engaged. Um, we're in a post-Janus world right now, so we want to really focus on not just the fact that we're all in the union, but that we're in the union and we're engaged. We don't ever want anybody else to characterize our union as lazy or anything like that. We are very involved and we're moving forward, and that's what designing high quality flyers will help us achieve. You'll also learn how good visuals and messaging are directly related to the number of members showing up at your meetings. Now, I know some people might say, that sounds a little crazy, but we've done some research on effective messaging, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. You're also going to learn how to take advantage of a resource that's been specifically designed for members to design flyers and other types of member materials. And if you haven't heard of the tool before, this might be pretty eye-opening, and I think it's a very good resource that every local should take advantage of. So here we go. Okay, so again, there is a chat feature, and for those who can see the visual on the screen, can anybody take a guess at what this is on the screen? And I may be sounding like Captain Obvious, but just give me an idea of what you think I'm trying to show you here. Okay, somebody take a guess. Oh, okay, so yeah, somebody said a countertop. It could be, but it's a little more obvious than that. I'll take one more guess. Parchment. We're getting close. Some kind of paper. Okay. Let's take one more guess. Okay. I'm not gonna say that one. That's funny. Okay. I'll keep this short. Like I said, here's what we're looking at. It's a billboard. Okay. And I know I said I'm being Captain Obvious, but there is a reason why billboards are important to the union. Here's why. So when it comes to unions, I know that uh, for a lot of the things that I say and I train on, I'm always talking about technology, which is good and which our union should be using a lot more of. Um, but believe it or not, billboards are still the best way to convey a message to members. And so that's why bulletin boards, excuse me, are important for the union. So here's why. We all know that you might have heard that a poorly maintained bulletin board is more likely to be ignored. Again, I'm being Captain Obvious here. I know that, but a good bulletin board will include materials that, again, will capture members' attention. I want to emphasize that with something beneficial that they might not have known about the union. And think about, meeting notices, member benefits, union difference messages, contact information. That may sound basic, but those are good things. Uh,
Sorry, I got it.
all right, just a reminder, please mute your phones.
Okay, bro.
No worries. Thank you very much for joining us. All right, so here's what I'm talking about. I was out in the field um, a couple of weeks ago. And again, this is a good example of a bulletin board that has lots of good information for members, and it's designed to capture people's attention. I'm not saying everybody should design a billboard like this. I think this local or this work site, they probably have some skills with arts and crafts. I would say, but again, this billboard or this bulletin board was designed to capture people's attention. And this is kind of the idea of what I'm talking about. All right, so here's some examples. Again, I'm not just talking about bulletin boards, but specifically, I want to show you why high quality flyers matter. So here's one example. You'll notice a couple of things. This is more of like a larger poster that is designed to capture members' attention and also drive home the message of "We Never Quit," because that's one of AFSCME's new slogans. You'll notice at the top it has "We Never Quit" on the people who depend on us. It gets you kind of thinking. It has a nice photo of a member sort of doing his or her job, right? And then at the bottom, it has a message to sort of drive home why this all matters. And then you'll notice some other things. The logo is important, obviously, even though we might be familiar with the AFSCME colors, the blue and the green. Not everybody may realize that blue and green, or I should say green mostly, is the AFSCME color. So it's good to have the logo in there. And then you'll notice that there is also a link. And this is where your local could publicize your website or another page that is beneficial to the members. Maybe you're trying to promote the member benefits or something like that. So again, this is a good example of a flyer that will grab members' attention. Here's another example. So again, it has the same concept. It has a nice sort of captivating message at the top, but this type of flyer or member material also includes a quote. So again, that shows that it's personalizing the message and it matches a photo of a member, usually at work. Those tend to work best. And again, it has another message just to drive the union difference message home, if you will. This is another good example of the types of flyers that you could make. And then here's another one. It's a little bit more basic, but sometimes, when you have to convey information to people, sometimes keeping it simple works best. And so this is actually a good example of a meeting flyer. We host a lot of meetings throughout the union for different activities, mostly for, membership type meetings. So this type of meeting flyer would work well. It again has a nice bold message at the top. It doesn't just say, hey, here's the, local 1, 2, 3 meeting. It actually gives members something to think about. And then as they go down the page, they're going to see some important information that they would expect to find about, where the meeting is, when it's taking place, and why I should come. So I showed you this because this is exactly what I'm going to show you how to do on your own. So let's get this started. Okay. So a little bit earlier, I sent out a message about a tool called the AFSCME Toolkit. As I said, the title of this webinar is How to Design a Professionally Looking Meeting Flyer in Less than 10 minutes. This is how you're going to be able to do this. Okay, so what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to need some people to time me, but I'm going to walk you through how to do this. And I'm going to do it in less than 10 minutes. So that means you'll be able to do about the same. Okay, so for those of you who were able to get a login to this, feel free to log on to the AFSCME Toolkit. You can kind of play along while we're doing this. And again, feel free to ask any questions. So we are in the AFSCME Toolkit. I'm just going to show you first and foremost all the things that you can do with it. You can make all types of flyers, comparison tables, posters, as I showed you. You can do mailers. You can do testimonials. You can do bargaining surveys. There's all sorts of stuff, and it's being added. There's more materials that are being added every day. This is a resource that was created by the International Union so that more members could take advantage of designing flyers and getting our membership engaged. So I'm going to show you how we can do this with a regular general membership meeting. So if you notice, there is a template in here called Never Quit Meeting Flyer. This is what I would encourage you to use. And let's see. If you click on it, you kind of see that there's there's a few places where you'll be able to personalize your information and make it your own so that it makes sense for your local. So here we go, and the countdown begins now. I'm going to show you how to do this in less than 10 minutes. So one of the elements to a good meeting flyer is you want to choose a headline. The good thing about the AFSCME Toolkit is that it gives you something already. So you could choose sort of what's in the template already. I like that as a headline is Your Voice Matters. Another one that I've seen that works well is We're Stronger Together. These are kind of cliches a little bit, but they actually work pretty well. So let's choose Your Voice Matters as the headline. Okay, next, what you do is you're going to, this is called the body text. And this is going to take care of this part on the right here. And this is how we're going to set this up right here. So hold on. Usually the best way to do this is to, well, you kind of already see, is to put your local name. So I'm just going to choose local here. Why don't we do local 2700? I'm going to give you all a shout out here. Okay, and then the next thing you want to do is usually you want to put the address of the place where you're having the meeting. So I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm making up an address, so please don't get on my case too hard, but I'm just making up something here. I'm just going to say, let's see. Oh, let's just say you all are having a meeting in Richmond. I'm totally making this up. Okay. Okay. And then there's a little trick in here. Again, you don't have to know how to do any design, but it does kind of give you, it gives you a clue here on how to sort of separate the lines. And so we want to make a line break here. So we add this little coding right there. Now, here's how you're going to make the body text so that it fits in this space on the right, but then it also makes sense to members. I'd like to share with you a template that I've created. That basically, if you use this text in the body, it will fit in the space and it'll take care of most of the information that you want to convey to members. All right, so I'm going to copy this here. We're going to paste it in the body. And again, if you want to sort of create this space as a paragraph, you can use this piece of coding right here. Hold on one second. All right, and I believe I have about 5 minutes. All right, so the next thing you'll see is there's a place to set the day of the week, meeting date, and time. I'm just going to make up the day. Let's say Monday. Let's make the date August 27th. I think that's next Monday. Yes. And then let's make sure to say the time, the year. And then let's set the meeting time as typical meeting time for us, which is usually about 5 p.m. Next thing, you'll set some contact information. So usually I'll put, just like it says in the template, for more information, contact so-and-so. And then you can type in either the president's name or whoever is the organizer of the meeting. And then usually you'll want to put their phone number and email address. Okay, so we're making up that, and we're going to make up an email address. Okay. Then you'll see next, it kind of looks good if you add the logos, like I mentioned in some of the earlier templates. Some people may not connect a union meeting with the name of our union, so we always want to sort of plug that in there. I'm going to choose the Never Quit logo. And then as an optional, or as an option, you can also select the logo for your own local. So I have something kind of loaded up, and you'll be able to do this as well. All right, so let's see. There we go. It looks like I have a logo for Local 2700. And then all you have to do is click Save here. It's going to generate on its own. And then just like that, we should have a meeting flyer. All right. So we've done this in, I would say, about 8 minutes. You could print this out as a PDF and start posting this on bulletin boards and passing this out to your members. And again, we can kind of format this a little bit more, but that's essentially what it'll look like. No design skills required, but you'll have a professionally looking meeting flyer. All right. Does anybody have any questions so far? Feel free to let me know in the chat.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
I was doing a newsletter earlier today, and I had the little square logo that is about our healthcare stuff, and it's in a perfect square. But every time I tried to insert it into the newsletter, it insisted that I crop it, and it wouldn't crop to the full square, so it kept cutting things out. Is there a way to insert a picture without having to crop it?
Let's talk about that one offline, and only because I can kind of see what the dimensions are of your image that you're trying to import. But
okay.
Yeah, usually it's just a matter of the dimensions of the image. But you can import something so that you don't have to crop it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can show you how to do that. That's why I was saying just let me know offline.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Awesome. Okay. So here we go. All right. So now that we've done a demonstration, I just wanted to sort of reiterate some things. A flyer with a clear message and or a good photo, it can really make the difference in terms of getting members engaged. Always remember to make good use of your worksite bulletin boards, as we demonstrated. Again, using technology, using websites, social media is great. We need to continue to do that. But using bulletin boards remains the best way to promote the union. So let's make good use of those. And then also, as I said, the toolkit is a huge resource. I'll show you a few other things that you can do with it, but this could become your new best friend, especially if you're pumping out a lot of materials for meetings or you're trying to get members engaged in different activities. And again, don't forget to always promote the union difference message. If you're not sort of familiar with that term, basically we're just trying to reiterate that the difference between having a union and not having a union, that's going to have an impact on a number of things: wages, retirement security, things that you can point out in clear figures for people. And that's pretty much about it. If anybody has any questions, feel free to let me know. And in the meantime, I'm going to just show you a few other things that you can do in the AFSCME toolkit. So for those on the phone, feel free to unmute yourselves if you can. If you have a question, feel free to let me know. If you're on the webinar online, feel free to send me any questions in the chat. I'll be glad to take them. All right, so I did mention that the toolkit has a number of templates that you can use. Once you get a login, you'll be able to see all of the things that I'm showing you here. A few templates that I think will be good to use, just because I think that I like how they turn out and they'll be easy to swap things out with, right? So I showed you the Never Quit meeting flyer. All you have to do is again, sort of localize it and put in your logo and contact information. So that's one that is good to use and reuse. Another one that's good to use that you really wouldn't even have to do anything else with is there is a template called comparison table. And this right here, well, let's see. Usually, this is a good flyer to show what I was talking about, which is the union difference. Perhaps you're doing an organizing campaign, so you can show a comparison, not just with other unions, hopefully, but you can show a comparison with being what being a member, what that gets you, and then what being a non-member, what that doesn't get you. And you'll kind of see there's some other comparison flyers here. So let's say you're doing a contract campaign. You can contrast what the union's proposal is versus what management's proposal is, and you can show that in a clear and clear way that members will get. Okay, question is, oh, yes. Hold on one second. Oh, if you are looking, if you're trying to get a login to the AFSCME Toolkit, I'm going to give you the website address. It's AFSCME, oh, excuse me. It's toolkit.afscme.org. If you go to that website, there is a, you'll see a link to click on it to request an account, and we'll take care of that for you. All right, I'm going to show you a few more templates here, and feel free to keep asking questions. Another good template to use. So at the last convention, not the most recent one in Boston, but the one I believe in Vegas, the new sort of motto for AFSCME was revealed, and that's "We never quit." So if that's sort of a message that resonates with the members in your local, you can actually use this template. Really, all you got to do is swap out your logo, and I would probably recommend a website as well. And you can post this in your work sites as well, just to drive the message home. This is sort of the union difference message, and this lets people know what AFSCME really stands for. And then there was a couple more that I just wanted to share. So these two flyers here, there's one that says sector specific, and there's another that says "We Never Quit" poster. These are the two that I showed earlier in the presentation. All these require is just a good photo. And the good thing is, I personally, I've taken a lot of photos of members at work, but again, this is built for you all to use on your own. So if you took a photo like this, a member at their desk, or let's say they're in public works, let's say they're in their hard hat or something like that, you could take that photo, swap it in this flyer, and then you would have the same thing that we're looking at right here, pretty much. And then there's another template called "We Never Quit" poster. This is actually this is a pretty large poster, so kind of looks like an advertisement, which is kind of cool. And again, you can swap out this photo with a photo of one of your members. So there's a bunch of templates that you can use. Again, it doesn't require really any graphic design skills. It's just a matter of following the steps, and I can provide logos for each local. We have that in our database, so that shouldn't be an issue. And again, this is just supposed to be a helpful resource, so I hope that folks find it useful, and once you get logged in, I hope we can start using more. Awesome. Are there any other questions? All right, going once, going twice.
Hey, Martin?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey there.
Can you add local 2620
Oh,
for the images?
could you repeat that one more time? You said 2620?
Yeah, like on the images when you add for the actual local, you add one.
Oh, so you're talking about, I'll give you an example. You're talking about the images that you can.
Like once you set up your own account and you're trying to put an image, I don't think the ones that you're showing on yours are saved at the individual's account.
Right, that's
This
true.
is not.
Right, so yours will look different because you can import your own images for your own local. So if you either taken
Okay.
photos that you want to use for a flyer, or even the ones that I have on file, we can import those into your account, and you could use them.
Okay.
Yeah, so all of these can be personalized. I think that's the point, right? That was your question, pretty much.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. All right. Okay, so again, I'm respectful of your time, and again, this recording will be sent out to everybody. I hope everything worked out, and that you all can hear me clearly, and that everything made sense. So I'll talk to everybody soon. Thank you very much.